I think friendship is, I think it's sort of everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's I cherish it so much. I also think, with kids, it's really important for them to see you with friends.
Yes.
To not separate those things, to involve your friends with your children and your children with your friends, because I'm really aware that like my son's 12 and like he's right now, like we just get on great. We get on so well.
Yeah.
So we get on so well. It's beautiful. And I'm so aware that is about to change because that is just nature.
Yeah.
I took about a year ago before we moved back, I took my son. I can't even remember what happened. But he was kind of stroppy and he stomped upstairs. He's really not that kind of boy, but he did. And I went upstairs and I sat in his room. And I just went to him. I said, "Can I ask you some questions?" And he was quite taken aback because he thought I was going to go, "What was that about?" And I went, "Can I ask you some questions?" And he went, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think I love you?" And he went, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think I would ever do anything to intentionally hurt or upset you?" He said, "No." I said, "And do you think in the 11 years that you've been on earth, do you think I've changed dramatically?" He went, "No." I went, "Well done. You scored 100%. They are all the right answers." I said, "And I'm telling you this because over the next few years, there are going to be points you are going to think I don't love you. You are going to think I am intentionally trying to hurt or upset you. And you're going to think that I've changed. And I need you to remember this, that I haven't changed. Wow. We haven't changed. You've changed and you need to. And you have to. And you are going to go through immeasurable changes in your life and body. And all we are trying to do, me, your mum, your sisters, and it's going to happen to them too, are just trying to help you navigate these bumps that are going to come your way and these changes, both mental and physical, that are happening for you. But I need you to know that I haven't changed. I'm never trying to intentionally hurt or upset you. And I love you. I love you more than you'll ever know. And he went, "I think we should have some sort of code word so I remember this." And so we came up with some silly code word that I would just say to him, like, "Do you remember?" And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, you haven't changed." I was like, "My hair hasn't changed, dude. I got the same hairstyle that I had when I was 18 years old,
Oh, man, I got chills. That was, yeah.
And I really feel that with friendship, that I'm so painfully aware that there's going to come a point where the influences that aren't me are going to become bigger on my children for a moment. And so if I can make sure that those other people that they look to are people who are aligned with how I feel, then it's going to be great,
And sometimes they're going to take advice from dad's friend more than they are from dad.
They are going to seek it.
Yeah.
They're going to absolutely seek those other role models.
Yes.
Particularly boys.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Is that right? I think
feel
that's
like
right.
that. Yeah, I feel like that.
I don't know if that's completely right, but I do think that there is
Feels right.
perhaps more of a thing between boys and dads, and it's such a strange thing that it's so odd,
Yeah, I remember. So you wouldn't know this because we didn't know each other then, but I became friendly with James Longman on your team years ago.
Yes.
And so Longers had invited me to come and watch the show. This is when I first moved to LA. When I first moved there. So this was like 5 years ago.
Oh my
And
God.
and I got to come, and he's wonderful, obviously.
He's the
And
greatest.
so he showed me around. I got to see all the rooms and like, the green rooms and everything. Like he just gave me the best tour ever.
He's great.
Took me to the photo wall. I got to put up a fake photo of myself on the wall as if I've been on the show. Like, all of it. It was really sweet. And we didn't know each other at all then, of course. And I didn't know anyone else apart from him. And I was just really excited to be there because I was such a fan of the show. And I remember you were so wonderful, even in between the show where you're in between segments, like it's not live, and you would come and chat to the audience, you'd shake people's hands. And then I remember you'd go and call your kids and you'd literally sit at the desk in between and just like get them, and you'd tell us, you'd be like, guys, I'm just going to call my family because I'm going to say goodnight to my kids. And it was it was so amazing to see someone who's in the middle of everything you described so phenomenally earlier, but then be like, I just want to say goodnight to my kids because it's that late, right? However late it was at that time. I think kids were going back to bed at 7 or whatever.
Yeah, it's about 7 o'clock.
7 or whatever it may have been. And I remember you FaceTiming them, and then we got to wave at kids. And I just remember how special that was. And I just think, I've heard you say before that, for so many years, your family was marching to the beat of your drum. Like they were there for you.
Sure.
They were just holding it together for you so that you could build and create. And I just think about moments like that you were having with them.
Immediately, I'm so worried that the show you came to was terrible. That's all I can think
It was
about.
good. It was Mark Ruffalo. It was great.
But like, that's really what really resulted in us moving back. Is the truth? Is like my wife just walked to the beat of my drum. My family, we're going to New York, we're going to LA, I'm going here, I'm going there. Babe, I'm going to do this thing in Australia. You good here with the kids? Do you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I genuinely feel, and I get the feeling that you might be like this. I feel like I could live anywhere. Anywhere. Yeah. I could live anywhere because we're very fortunate that you're here now in London. You're going to go back. You're going to go to India. You're going to go to New York. You're going to go to LA. Like, what a privilege. I'm so aware that hasn't been my wife's life for the last 12 years, 13, 14 years, And so really our decision to move back was like, I was going to stop the show regardless. There was a moment where I was going to stop it a bit earlier, and then it was done so beautifully, my leaving of the show. Like, me and my boss, George, just sat in my office and literally talked it out like this. No agents, no lawyers, no nothing. Like, I said, I'd like to leave at this date. He said, is there any way I can get you to stay to this date? I was like, I can't stay to that date because we've got to resettle. The kids have got, like, they have to start school in September, and then at one point it was going to be May, and then there was like, I think there's golf and masters and all these things. And we literally just were like, okay, we'll end it then, and that'll give us the right gap. And all of that came from me just saying to Jules, like, I'll live anywhere. Where do you want to be? Where do you think it's best for us to be? Because I know she would never make a decision that isn't best for the kids. Forget me. And she was just like, I think it's time to go home.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, that's it. And I'm so grateful that we did. Just in my family, before Christmas, we had my mum sings in a choir. It's not a church choir. It's just a choir with some of her friends. And we all went out to High Wycombe to watch her sing in this choir. I sat in this room in John Hampden Sports Hall, or their, theatre hall, just a school hall that we were in. I cried my eyes out. I cried. I couldn't stop crying because my mum was in this choir with like 40 other people singing Christmas songs. And it was so pure. It was so pure. It was so the antithesis of what our life had been in Los Angeles. And my mum was in the corner of this crowd, you know, like, and she couldn't stop smiling. And I just thought, oh my God, this purity that's here. These are a group of women and men in there. I guess they range between 30 to 60 people. And I just was like, this is everything. I don't want to be anywhere else. I only want to be here. And it was so weird. It's so weird, the effect it has on me even now saying it. I can't understand it. I can't tell you why. I think it just felt in that minute like, oh, this is the sacrifice. This is why we made what you would perceive to be a great sacrifice.
Yes.
This is the reason. Something here that I would never see. I would never come back for. I would never be part of. And then my dad joined them with a few numbers playing the saxophone. and I just was like, oh my God, this is worth everything. This is everything I need to feed me and my kids watching their grandma sing this song. I was like, how lucky are we to appreciate and have this experience?
Yeah.
To have come back and everyone be healthy.